Hello, I'm Steve Eisenhardt, a Senior Vice President here at Space Foundation, and it's my pleasure today to host this segment of our State of Space 2022. We're joined by Eric Stallmer, Executive Vice President for Government Affairs and Public Policy at Voyager Space Holdings. Eric, I know you've relatively recently joined the company. If you could tell us just a little bit about it, and then from your perspective, how do you see the state of space in 2022?
Great. Hey, thanks so much, Stephen. It's great to be with you today. I felt like it was recently that I joined Voyager, but it's been about 17 months now. And it's been a thrilling roller coaster ride that keeps getting better and better. Voyager is a company that has been acquiring other space companies. And to date, we have 7 companies in our portfolio. Altius Systems, Pioneer Space, the Launch Company, NanoRacks, Valley Tech Systems, and Space Micro are our companies. And they're all in a real diverse part of the industry, and they all have niche capabilities that we're excited to kind of vertically as well as horizontally integrate within the Voyager team. So it's been an exciting time working with these companies, acquiring the technology that they bring on board, and the personnel, mostly the personnel. That's been very exciting for us, and having them all working together. That part of that, integrating these capabilities, I said, has really been the rewarding part of this. But it's interesting, as you say, the view or the vision of the space industry, in 2022. I'm very excited. I'm excited behind us. Not that I know something that others don't know, but I'm hoping we're at the tail end of this pandemic. I think the industry had weathered the storm very well, better than most industries, obviously. And I see really a bright future in a really cross section of different areas in the space industry. So often we look at launch, but there's so much more to the space industry than just launch, and the different market segments that are growing out, and the variety of constellations and commercial space stations and areas like that. So I think 2022 is going to be one of the best years for the space industry yet. So I'm very upbeat about that. I'm upbeat about the interest in capital markets that have been investing in the space industry, and continue to see the industry grow.
Well, let's turn a little bit to what would you consider the biggest challenge facing the operating environment that will require the most attention and resources to address in the coming year?
Well, talent is always a challenge. I think, we have an industry that really encompasses the best and the brightest of people. But I think, with the growing number of space companies that are out there, and the competition for talent, I think we really have to, companies really have to work hard to foster that talent and to hold on to it. And that is a challenge. I think with the hope, a challenge also is the markets, is the capital markets. Unfortunately, the last couple of weeks, there's been a slide in the stock market, and hopefully investors aren't getting scared off and keeping their money on the side, and they continue to invest in a lot of these innovative and really game-changing companies. So I think it's critical to have that continued investment. But I think the companies have to give a return on their investment and deliver on what they're going to say they're going to do, and I think we're starting to see that more and more. So I think that's going to be a critical part of what the growth of the space industry, and especially some of these new technologies that are on the forefront.
We've seen a lot of attention, I think, through a number of reasons in public awareness, public attention about space over the last year. But what's the one issue or condition that you feel is not getting the public attention that it deserves?
I think there's great excitement on the human spaceflight factors that are taking place. The Virgin Galactic ride, and what Blue Origin has done, bringing passengers back and forth to space and making this a little more routine. I think that gets a lot of attention, but I think there's applications out there that are really going to be critical as we move forward. One area that really interests me a lot is, the orbital debris, and how do we mitigate, the amount of orbital debris that we have, and through programs of, active debris removal. I think there's some great companies out there that are working this, and I think they deserve more attention and more funding than they're getting, because I think this is really is going to be a critical part of this growing evolution in space, and we have to be respectful and mindful of the environment that we're working on, and continue to make it sustainable. And I just feel that's an area, it might not be getting the attention that it deserves, or really warrants. As from the aspect of the responsible actors that are doing things in space and doing it the right way and working with others, and then the irresponsible actors in space, some of these nation states, with their anti-satellite testing that really serves no real point and is only disruptive, to the global space community.
Well, let's turn a little bit, instead of disruptors, to obviously everything we do is with partners and stakeholders. And as which is the stakeholder or partner that you and your organization need in 2022 to achieve success?
Personally, we are working very closely with NASA. We were just awarded a contract for commercial LEO destinations. So we are partnering with Lockheed Martin and NanoRacks being one of our companies, and the three of us, and then a lot of other partners in that process of building a commercial space station. And so, the government partner on that will, clearly be NASA, and how we can work with NASA and understanding what some of their needs are, but also, addressing the commercial market needs, because I think it goes hand in glove. Understand, NASA is obviously, as I said earlier, the best and the brightest, and from a government agency perspective, really have been doing it right for all these years, and the engagement they've had most recently with the private sector has just been fantastic. So we're looking forward to doing a lot of work with NASA on that program. But there's, obviously other partners, the DoD, with the Space Force, as the Space Force is maturing and understanding their role and mission, better and better, and others are, understanding as well. I feel that they've been very cooperative to work with, as other agencies inside the Department of Defense have been. So they're going to be a big partner, moving forward as well.
And looking ahead, is there one anticipated mission or event that you and your organization are most looking forward to in the coming year?
Well, I have got a very good friend who's going to be flying up on a SpaceX rocket, Michael Lopez Alegria. He's going to be flying up on the Axiom mission to the space station, where Mike's going to be bringing three other commercial astronauts up to the space station. I'm personally excited about that, but I feel like that opens a lot of new doors. The more access to space that we have, for the general public, I think is a great thing. I think that, these continued public-private partnerships are great, and are really going to be game-changing for the industry. As the government knows more what commercial capabilities are out there, and what the commercial industry can do, and the partnerships that they can have. And I'm excited too about industry to industry partnerships that, with some of these companies, that one day they're your competitor and the next day they're your partner. And we're seeing this, that we're working really across the board with all different types of space companies, really looking for the best in breed for what we do. So I think you're seeing the barriers of competition are coming down a little bit more, and you're seeing more partnerships, and that, is always a good thing in our industry to see that happen.
Well, and as you say, I think we're all excited that we've gotten to the point that we all have some personal friends who have now flown in space, including one of your bosses there at Voyager, with Dylan's ride last year, and we all it's changing the atmosphere for all of us. Any final comments that you'd like to offer in terms of things? And again, we'd like to thank you for being with us here today.
No, and I want to thank you, Steve, for all the support that the Space Foundation has provided the industry over the years, and certainly, with the Space Symposium coming up here in the next few months, it's such a great venue for getting people together, and really, I think everyone is safe to say looking forward to getting together face to face and without a mask, and I think hopefully we'll see a lot more of that, see faces and handshakes a lot more in 2022 as we move forward and put this behind us. So I'm looking forward to seeing you and all your colleagues in person out in the Springs in a few months.
Thanks again, and look forward to seeing you too.